Namaste. I'm Teresa Braun, spiritual consultant, Saosis Mystery School. Happy April. I hope you're having a great spring. Today I'm going to talk about guides. We are never alone. We have spirit guides. We have guidance, which is also from our own soul to ourselves. But I'm going to talk about spirit guides. Spirit guides are here to help you on your path, to keep you on your path, to point you, push you, lead you in the right direction if you pay attention to them. Guides do not leave us. We separate more from them. We pull away. We don't think about the possibility of even having guides, okay? They are such a wonderful gift. They're such a wonderful, loving companionship on your path. And they are here to help you in every way that they possibly can. Many people have several hordes, a posse, a pod of guides. Some people have more, one or two that they focus on. Sometimes people have so many guides, it's like a cacophony of sound. They can't even really identify what they're saying, that kind of thing. It's important to maybe ask a couple to come forward to communicate with you in the ways that they do. It's important to raise your vibration in a meditation state or in a quiet place so you can hear the subtler energy. Sometimes they actually push or move things or speak in a very loud voice, so it's not quite so subtle all the time, but mostly it's more subtle. It's a whispering. And in your ear, it's a knowing, it's a feeling, it's a hunch, that kind of thing. It's very similar to your intuition, okay? And just like intuition, there's several stages to becoming more aware of your guides. The first is open to the possibility that you have guides, okay? Some spiritual paths do not speak of them much at all, and some are speaking of them all the time. I'm a channel. I channel my guides through my body and have them speak through me. A lot of people don't do that, nor should they do that, but the guides are there nonetheless in your field and in there communicating to you in the ways, hopefully, that you can experience them and in the ways that is the best way for you to perceive them. So basically, we have the knowing, we have seeing, we have hearing, and we have feeling. And those are the ways we perceive from an intuitive level. Those are the ways that we perceive our guides or anything that is not in physical matter, okay? We need to raise our vibration to connect with guides. So in terms of meditating, raise your vibration, raise up and out. They can come down to us, but that takes a lot of focus and energy, and we need to at least meet them, if not halfway, a third of the way, in terms of expanding ourselves to open to their presence and their presence in our lives. I believe that life itself is a guide. I believe that almost everything in life can be a guide, okay? I'm going to speak a little bit more about the spiritual guides that have been in human form and are now our disincarnate beings that are here to help people. These are usually very high-level beings, okay, that is able to do the service of being a guide. Not just everybody, when they pass over, becomes a guide. It's a very high-level person who has mastery in some way, whether it is the spiritual path, whether it is a knowledge of some kind, whether it's an ability of some kind, that kind of thing, that they have it understood enough that they can share. They can share as the teacher, okay? Guides can help us in everything. They can help us in terms of decisions. They can help us in terms of healing. They can help us in terms of relationships. They can help us in terms of abundance. They can help us in terms of knowing what the next step is. What is our process that we need to allow to unfold in our life? And so they can help. They're multidimensional. They can help in all the dimensions, okay? They can be there with you all the time, or they can move back and forth, more into the higher vibrations and then back more closer to you so that they can help you, okay? So the first thing to do around experiencing your guides is to open to the possibility that you have them. I think everybody has a guide. I haven't seen anybody that doesn't have a guide. I have seen guides that are so far in the left field or in the back 40 or whatever you want to say of someone's aura that there's not a communication happening. That person may not believe in guides or may pulled away from them for whatever reason, have gone through some kind of trauma where their vibration has dropped and they've not been able to have a more conscious understanding of their guides. Just because you don't understand it consciously doesn't mean it's not happening. So that's important to realize, that you may not think you have guides or you may not be communicating with them more consciously. They're still doing the best they can to try to help you. Okay, they are I want to say they're resilient. There's another word, relentless. The guides can be relentless in a positive way. Okay, and then there's noticing. It's like noticing that they're there, noticing that there is something there, that you are not alone, that there is a presence that is there for you. Okay. That's important to realize. It's like the consciousness is important to realize, to bring the communication and the help they're giving you more into consciousness in yourself. Okay. You have to open to the possibility of the experience. And that's true, whatever it is, but it certainly is true with guides. Okay. A lot of times guides start making their presence known more in meditation, certainly, or in dream state. Okay. But you notice the guidance that life gives you. Things come in threes, or there's a certain synchronicity happening, or there's an awareness of something that's beyond what you would have thought you knew. Okay. Or a way that you would look at something. You're presented with a different possibility or opportunity. Those are ways that guides makes their presence known to you in the world. And then there's doing. Do something about it. You experience that you have a guide. Let yourself set up the intention and the time and the ability to communicate with them, to experience them, to know, see, hear, feel them more in your life. Ask for them to become more conscious or more active or more there for you. Ask and you shall receive. They are very respondent to what we're asking. Make the asks more conscious, not just unconscious wantings. Okay, they respond to those too, but let's bring it more into consciousness so that the guides and their response is more conscious for you. I think it always works better if we have a partner or a team to help us on our path. And then there's trust. Trust what they're telling you. Trust what they're saying to you. Trust what they're giving to you. Why not? I mean, why not? If it's really out of common sense, you might want to, sit with it for a while or check it out a little bit before you leap off the tall building in a single bound. But, trust what they're giving you. Usually that inner voice, that inner intuition, that inner connection with guides is usually accurate. Okay. If you let yourself have it, if you let yourself receive it. Okay. And try it. It's okay to experiment. You don't have to do everything they say from the get-go. You can check it out. You can see, what feels right, what doesn't feel right. Okay. Some people only hear maybe one voice, or they get a sense of one guide. Often there's more than one, and they may come through one. They may have a speaker of the house, okay, that they are all communicating through, or you might experience them individually. Okay. So you can give them different voices. Often we hear everything in our own voice, okay? Give your guides different voices. Let your parents have a different voice. Let your critical voice have a different voice, okay? Let other energy have a different tone or sound or feel or color or image so that you can recognize it, okay? Guides show up in a multitude of ways, okay? Like I said, all of life can be a guide. But guides can show up as an archetypal image. They can show up as the historical look of a teacher, okay? Or of a priest or a monk, or of the alchemist or the chemist or the Native American that is here to guide you on your path, or all kinds of ways, different cultures, different images, different feelings, different tones. Often that is maybe the past life that the guide had, that they were more mastery of their information. Or maybe that's a past life that you and your guide had together. That happens a lot, that you have been connected before in body, in lifetime, and they have gone on to become a guide and are now there for you. Or maybe they've been a guide for you in many lifetimes. There are guides that help us come in to be born. And maybe those stay with us our whole lives, or maybe they only stay for a while because that is their particular service. And then we shift. As we open to something new in our life, a new guide can come in, or the guides can shift and bring through other levels of their information to give to us. Again, they're multidimensional. They have access. The guides are connected in with the Akashic records. We can connect in with the Akashic records, but guides are always of a high enough vibration that they are connected in with the Akashic records. And that is giving you the information of all that is. Okay? The next level is reporting. You got this information, tell somebody about it. Get it out your mouth. Sometimes that's very hard. We get the intuition, we get the communication with guides, we keep it to ourselves. We don't want to appear crazy or silly or whatever. Report it. Say what they said. Sometimes it grounds it in your body. Sometimes it makes it more real when you have shared this information with someone. And then there's interpreting. Why are these things important to you? Why are you getting this information? How does that line up with your meaning in your life? How is that supporting you in a way? So bring that in and understand it and interpret it. And sometimes reporting of it to someone else and maybe getting feedback from someone else. And sometimes just the saying it helps you interpret it, helps you get what was really meant with this or what the meaning of this is for you. Okay? Then there is integration. This is the biggie. This is where we take in the information, we grok it, we understand it in all the ways that we do, we get it in the way we get it, and then we integrate it into our life. It's not just this thing that sits there. Oh, that's a good idea, we'll hold it out here. No, you bring it in and you use it and you work it and you are with it and you bring it in to support you in whatever way. Guides can give very general information or they can give very specific information, and that is important to know. So you can ask very specific questions, okay, as you get more comfortable communicating with your guides. But in the beginning, it's good to just ask them general information. It's like, why are you here with me? What is our connection? Okay. How do you want to communicate with me? How can I receive you? What can I do to facilitate our relationship better? Okay. You can ask guides those kinds of questions in the beginning and let them tell you. And then as you develop that trust and that experience more and more, you can let yourself get more specific with your questions. Okay. Sometimes guides answer in a more generalized way because the soul really speaks from not the details necessarily as much as the overall aspects and qualities. And guides have a tendency to be more in that level as well. But, I got through a lot of my science classes with the help of a guide. And so they can be specific as well. So if you want to work more with connecting with your guides, if you want to understand more about how guidance is working with you, how to work with them yourself, how to acknowledge their presence in your life, you can make an appointment with me. I help people with this all the time. I have great friends on the other side, and I haven't met a guy that didn't like me. So that's a great thing for me. And so please call or email, and we can set up a time so you can meet your guides. It could be a new talk show. That would be fun. Okay. Bye for now. Have a happy April. Happy spring.